Football can be cruel. One moment the world calls you the future. The next they laugh at you. When Vinícius Júnior arrived in Europe, expectations were enormous. A young Brazilian talent signed by Real Madrid. Fast, fearless, full of flair. But talent alone wasn't enough. Because in his early years in Spain, the goals didn't come. The chances were missed. The criticism was loud. Fans questioned him. Pundits mocked him. Memes spread across the internet. Many people believed he would never become the superstar Madrid expected. But football stories are never written in a straight line. Some players rise quickly. Others rise through resistance, through doubt, through nights where the entire stadium watches, waiting for you to fail. And what they didn't realize was simple. Every missed chance, every criticism, every moment of pressure was shaping something dangerous. This isn't just a story about talent. It's a story about transformation. This is the rise of Vinícius Júnior. When Vinícius Júnior first arrived in Spain, the pressure was already enormous. He was still a teenager, but the expectations around him felt like those placed on a superstar, because Real Madrid had paid millions to secure his future before most of Europe even fully understood his potential. To Madrid, he was not just a signing, he was an investment in the next generation. At first, everything about him was exciting. The speed, the dribbling, the confidence to attack defenders without fear. Fans could see the raw talent immediately. But football at the highest level is unforgiving. Vinícius could beat defenders easily. But when it came to the final moment, the short or the final pass, things often went wrong. Big chances were missed. Attacks ended without goals. And slowly, the excitement started turning into frustration. The internet did not help. Clips of missed chances spread everywhere. Memes appeared. Some fans even began to question if he was ready for pressure of playing at a club as big as Real Madrid. For a young player, it was brutal. But inside the club, something important was happening. Some coaches and teammates could see what others could not. They saw the courage it takes to keep asking for the ball, to keep attacking defenders even after mistakes, to keep trying when the entire stadium is watching. Because sometimes the difference between failure and greatness is simply refusing to stop. And Vinícius was about to prove that. For Vinícius Júnior, the hardest part of his journey was not arriving at Real Madrid. It was surviving the doubts that came after. Week after week, the same story repeated. Vinícius would receive the ball on the wing. He would beat one defender, then another. The crowd would rise in excitement. But when final moment came, the shot or the last pass, the attack would collapse, and the criticism would return. Fans began to question if he had what it takes. Commentators said the same thing again and again. He has the talent but not the finishing. For a young player playing at the biggest club in the world, those words can break confidence. But Vinícius refused to hide. He kept asking for TH ball. He kept attacking defenders, even when mistakes turned to headlines. Because deep inside, he believed something simple. If he stopped trying, he would never improve. Inside the club, something else was happening. Senior players and coaches saw his work behind the scenes. Extra training, finishing drills, hours spent improving the one thing people said he could not do. Because talent opens the door, but obsession is what turns potential into greatness. And Vinícius was about to show the world that the story everyone believed about him was completely wrong. For years, people said the same thing about Vinícius Júnior. Great dribbler, but poor finishing. It followed him everywhere. Every missed chance became another clip online. Every mistake became another joke. But what people did not see was the work happening behind the scenes at Real Madrid. Vinícius knew exactly what the problem was, so he attacked it. Day after day, after normal training ended, he stayed on the pitch, practicing finishing, practicing decision-making, practicing the moment that had caused him so much criticism. Slowly, something began to change. The chances that once ended in frustration started turning into goals. The same player people once mocked was now becoming one of the most dangerous attackers in Europe. His speed terrified defenders. His dribbling broke defensive lines. And now, finishing was finally arriving. It came the moment that would change everything. The biggest stage in European football. The UEFA Champions League final. Millions watching around the world. One chance. One moment. And this time, Vinícius did not miss. The boy who had been doubted became the hero. The player people laughed at had just delivered glory for Real Madrid. But the story of Vinícius was far from finished, because success would bring new battles. By now, the world knew the name. Vinícius Júnior. The same player who had once been mocked for missed chances had become one of the most dangerous attackers in world football. Goals, assists, Champions League nights. He was now a star of Real Madrid. But with fame came new challenges. As his influence on the pitch grew, so did the attention around him. Some defenders tried to stop him with fouls. Others tried something worse. Racist abuse in stadiums. Insults from the stands. Moments that reminded the world that football still has battles far beyond the game itself. Many players might have stayed silent, but Vinícius did not. He spoke out, not just for himself, but for players everywhere who had experienced the same thing. What once looked like pressure had now turned him into something bigger, a symbol, and the transformation was complete. The teenager who arrived in Spain full of talent but full of doubts had become a leader, a superstar, a player capable of deciding the biggest matches in world football. Because sometimes greatness is not about being perfect from the start. Sometimes it's about refusing to give up when the entire world is watching you fail. And that's exactly what Vinícius did. From criticism to champion, from doubt to belief, this was the rise of Vinícius Júnior. And that is the story of Vinícius Júnior, a player who was once doubted, mocked, and questioned. But instead of letting the criticism define him, he used it as fuel. Today, Vinícius Júnior stands as one of the most exciting players in world football, a star for Real Madrid and a symbol of resilience for millions of fans around the world. Because sometimes the difference between failure and greatness is simple: refusing to give up. If you enjoyed this story, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next football documentary. And now I want to hear from you. Which player should we tell the story of next? Leave the name in the comments. And the most requested player might be the next episode. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next story.